For this week's talking and listening task, I have challenged you to find an object that means a lot to you and to give a talk about that object. Now, I think it's really important that we treat this like a literacy task. This isn't just about sort of a rambling talk, although that's a bit coming from me. This is about you focusing on what it is you want to say about the object. And so with that in mind, I'm going to give you some success criteria. I want to know who the object belongs to and who it maybe belongs to in its history, if that's relevant. What it is, why you've chosen it, where it lives and what places might be associated with that object, and when this object came into your life and any other dates that you might associate with that object. So I need a who, what, where, why, when of the object. That's really important. I also, and I'd love it if you could film these and send them in, need to see you talking confidently, talking clearly, and looking at the person that you're talking to, or looking at the camera at any rate. So those are our talking and listening success criteria. I want to show you what that might look like. So, I told you if I was picking an object it would be my brown boots. I wouldn't be able to just rattle off a brilliant presentation about my boots just straight off the top of my head. I would have to make a plan. You know I like to make a plan using spider diagrams, so let's do that. I will put boots in the middle. You'll obviously put whatever you've chosen that's important to you, and I would do who, what, where, why, and when, all coming off that. And then I would think about using these to start my planning. Who, I associate these boots with myself because I bought them for myself, but also I associate them with me being sort of Miss Lister rather than being Maddie, because I always wear them for work. So I kind of associate them with that identity that I have as the person who you see at school, as opposed to the person that my friends see at a weekend. So that would be something that I'd want to include in the presentation. What? Their boots. That's kind of self-explanatory, and because that's so explanatory, I might start my presentation by talking about that. So I might put a circle on that and a number 1 next to it, because that seems like a really good place to start by just saying what they are. The why for my boots is I bought them because they're comfy, and also they were a bit of a present from me to me when I got my first job in a school 3 years ago. So they were kind of a celebration, a congratulations boot. The when, I've already told you that, was 3 years ago. And because I realised as I was talking there, that linked into the why. So I want to talk about these two, probably together. I'm probably going to talk about those at a similar time, rather than making them into 2 separate things, because they're so linked together. I bought them all that time ago because I was saying congratulations to myself for getting a job in a school. Does that make sense? The where, thinking about the where, that's really associated with I wear them to school, and that really is linked in with this idea of me as Miss Lister and the kind of identity as a teacher thing. So I'll probably talk about those together as well. Now, I've already said in my plan that I'm going to talk about what they are first, and then I think I would talk about these bits because they're a bit more factual. So I'll put a circle around those and do a number 2. And then here, these bits is where it gets emotional and quite personal, which is strange when we're just talking about boots, and I think I probably want to end on that slightly personal, slightly emotional note. So that will be my number 3. Now, different people work in different ways. The next thing that you want to do might be to go away and make a script and to write down what you're going to say. Or you might be somebody who finds it easier to just talk off the top of their head. Either of those things are absolutely fine, as long as when you deliver it, you can deliver it with confidence. So, you've made your plan, and that's going to help you really hit those success criteria of mentioning who, what, where, why, and when. The other success criteria is about delivering your video in a confident manner and speaking clearly. That might look a little bit like this. These are my boots. They're sort of a brown leather boot, and they kind of look a little bit worn and a little bit tatty. That's because I've had them for 3 years. I first bought them when I first got a job in a school as a way of saying congratulations to myself for securing that job, because they looked so comfy, and I think as well really smart. The who that's to do with these boots really is all about me, but it's a little bit more specific than that. I associate these boots with being Miss Lister, not just with being Maddie who my friends see at a weekend, but by being that teacher, being that person in the classroom who has those important relationships with you. I know in the morning, as soon as I put these boots on, I'm ready to go into work and ready to be that person for you guys. So really, I associate these boots very much with school, where they have been with me every day of my teaching career. Your video will probably be a little bit longer than that, because I'd already told you all the information about my boots in the planning bit. So I didn't want to just go on about it. But I'd love to see what you come up with. Speak soon. Bye bye.